Hey guys, Steeple here. Today I got a look at the De Grasse in a ranked match game. We got Rue on the screen. Traditionally I'd been running Lemon on this ship for whatever reason. Ranked mode, I'm putting Rue on there. I'm kind of phasing Rue into my main French commander. It's been a long ongoing debate for me. I just think overall Rue's probably average over 100 games is going to be better than Lemon's average. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's my own opinion, though. You'll see in this match, though, I just went into the game before I started recording this and checked, because this thing is starting and stopping really slow. And then I realized I had the steering gears mod on there to counter Lemon's lack of perks that enhance the steering. So that's causing this thing to start and stop really slowly. Went and switched the prop mod on there. I think that'll work better. That's kind of with these cruisers, you got to balance if you're using the offensive or defensive commander. You got to be able to turn the ship quick enough that if you have an incoming salvo, you can angle sufficiently against that quick enough before you die. De Grasse, like a lot of cruisers, if you get shot in the side, you're gonna have a bad time. So that's kind of the setup I'm working on. The balance is there. You just got to find it. Ranked mode domination. Obviously, the objective of this game is to hold 2 caps for as long as possible. You get 48 points per minute per cap. So if you hold 2, you get roughly 100 points every minute. Do the math. It doesn't take that long to win the game when you hold those 2 objectives. What we're trying to do positionally with these ships, battleships want to anchor the north or the south end of the map, fire into that vertical line. They want to hold that position. Cruisers, I generally like to play the wings here, or basically where I'm looking at on the south side of the map is a good position. Trying to get some flank. We want to cover B, and then destroyers. In my mind, the destroyer that spawns closest to A or C needs to capture that. The other 2 need to get on B as quick as possible and start basically torping that area and trying to clear the enemy out. Once you capture B, then the goal is to hold it. If you happen to kill all the ships, fine, but that's not your goal. That's not how you win. If that's what you're trying to do, that's usually how you lose the game. So that's the game plan, and here's the execution. So from our perspective, or our position, again, we're keeping an eye for that cruiser that probably is going to play kind of the mirrored spot for us. That's the biggest threat here. And then these battleships, we want to start threatening them. If you start shooting them with sustained damage, obviously we take a look at that destroyer. If we had a shot, we want to shoot that shot. That's the priority target. But the battleships, if we can start rattling them with incoming fire, starting them on fire, and just disrupting them, then they're going to be compelled to move away from covering the central column. And then that's going to allow our ships to get in there more aggressively. They're going to have, the enemy team's going to have less support fire going in there. So for an opening play, that's a pretty good strategy in my mind. Again, we're just kind of trying to harass these ships. We hit the Arizona, set him on fire. He used the damage con. Warspite's anchoring the line. Arizona's moving off. So even though we can continue piling on damage with that Arizona, we want to get into the mind of the Warspite, disrupt what he's trying to do. Basically, what we're trying to do is disrupt the enemy's strengths, or what their game plan should be, and take them off of that. And then the game's easy to win. So Warspite, we get him on fire. I think we actually got a double fire on him, and then I don't know why he's not putting it out. He didn't appear to have any damage prior to that. But maybe he uses damage con somehow, I don't know. Either way, he's having a bit of an issue. So we've kind of successfully moved those battleships, or begun moving them away from the position where they can effectively cover that central column here. And, we're actually getting a fair amount of damage. We've almost got 2/3 of our ship's HP and damage already. It doesn't really matter how much damage you're doing. Just getting them out of their comfort zone, or what they're trying to do, is the main thing. But whittling down with fires and stuff, so on and so forth, always beneficial. Leander's coming around, he gets spotted. We do have HE loaded. Fire 1 there, switch immediately to AP. We check the map, he's broadside, so we want to get that AP salvo off if possible. It's going to be kind of a blind fire shot going over a couple islands, but that's not a big problem As you can see there, we do a pretty good chunk of damage, just shy of 10k on that guy. At this point in time, we got 3 destroyers killed on their team. We have 2 caps. This is our game to lose at this point. World of Warships Game of Throws edition. Your team will try and lose these type of games, but we are set up for success. Missed the Pensacola being broadside on the map there. Was focused on something else apparently. Could have used a little bit more map awareness there. We could have had a juicy shot. And then we take an incoming salvo from one of those battleships. So we're going to move forward, utilizing this island kind of on the left-hand side of the screen to cut off their firing angle. Pensacola's distracted. I think he's trying to rush one of these destroyers, make a last-ditch effort type of a play. So we switch back to AP once he's broadside, and it's going to cost him, and it's going to cost him dearly. And I don't necessarily fault this guy for trying to do something. It's extremely frustrating watching your teammates not try and win the game. Like, for instance, everything on the rest of their team for the rest of the game, they need to kind of be pushing aggressively into these caps. Again, 100 points every minute if you control 2 caps. So this game will end very quickly, and even though it's not technically a textbook correct play to be pushing into situations where you know there's destroyers in the area as a battleship, you're conceding the game by not doing it. You got to try it. If you don't really know how to win games or you don't care about winning games, rank mode is not for you. I don't care if there's rewards that you think are interesting. You're going to piss a lot of people off and ruin their day if you don't care about winning. So that'd be my advice with that. Our team over here, though, we got a couple ships that are kind of pinned down by this Arizona, and I think Leander's still over here. So we're going to try and help out. At this point in time, though, I don't want to risk too much, and we're going to be keeping an eye on keeping ourselves alive rather than killing these ships. Again, killing the ships is not how we win the game. It's controlling these objectives, and we're doing that right now. So if I die by a devastating strike from that Arizona, that's a major problem. That's a potential way to throw a game that should be won. Leander does go down, which is good. He takes out our Queen Elizabeth, though, and we're going to try and harass this Arizona, slow him down. But again, maybe just sailing away right here is a better play than what I'm doing right now. But their other battleship, the Warspite, he's just kind of sitting in the back. No interest in winning the game. So even if I do die here, it's probably not going to cost us the game at this point, assuming our team doesn't go crazy. But that's kind of my point with these ranked commentaries, is you can't assume that your team is not going to actively try and throw the game. They will chase damage, even if they have the score locked up, so on and so forth. So, I'm pointing this play out against this Arizona. This is not necessarily ideal. I could just sail all the way to the north edge of the map and then all the way to the west and avoid this guy, and that'd be a little bit better. And this play right here, I kind of biffed that. That's another one we should point out. Why I invest in this camo or the concealment is so I can turn away from that ship. I had him spotted. I could have turned away, pre-angled, and then fired, which would make my ship appear in a screen. Then he can fire, but I'm already in a better position to dodge. When you're kind of angled towards the ship with the intention of turning away from them, and you fire, then you appear in the screen, and what they're seeing is you turning broadside. So if they can get their aim on your ship quick enough and fire the guns, they can potentially dev strike you there. So a little bit sloppy there. Do need to point that out. Arizona, though, we've been setting him on fire. He's been damage conning. They've been going out, and one more fire will end his life there. And we got that fire. So he's dead. There's nothing he can do, and we don't need to spend any more time thinking about him. Again, right here, the game's already over. This Warspite is not in a position to do anything. He's not showing any inclination that he's going to do anything. But we're going to just take our initial position, which is a strong cruiser position. Provides us an opportunity to fire. Blind, not being spotted. And we can still get a little bit more damage. Make sure he doesn't push into B. Make sure nothing goes awry. But not, less than 100 points. We have 2 caps. That means we have to hold them for less than a minute and the game's over. So keep that 48 number in mind, or just round it up to 50 if you want to make it easier. 2 caps, 100 points, 1 cap, 50 points per minute. That's what you're getting. So if you're looking at the scoreboard trying to evaluate your play, use those numbers. And again, if you got to be aggressive and push to slow down the accumulation of points, that's what you got to do. So for rank, this is a relatively high damage game. Not a huge XP game. We weren't involved with capturing any bases or whatever. I think base captures roughly 300 to 500 XP. I don't know exactly what it goes down as, but if you're shooting for a high XP game, that's how you're generally going to get it in these ranked mode games. Anyways, that's the look at the De Grasse on ranked here. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. There's a lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I do love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.